Hey guys, welcome to today's live strategy session, Thursday, October 1st, new month. Cool. Everybody getting over the stress of a bunch of closings at the end of last month, hopefully, or maybe not enough closings. As usual, feel free to chat with anything you might need. These sessions are for you guys. If you need marketing help, strategy help, I generally come prepared with the topic. I actually had a guest for today who had to scratch last minute over internet issues, but next week we'll be talking about the 5 things you should be doing every day, kind of an action plan you can do every day with KV Course. So we'll do that on Tuesday. I did tease yesterday that we talk a little bit about Twitter today. I had scratched that plan, but maybe we'll go ahead and attempt that today. So let's start out by asking who is using Twitter actively at all? I personally don't very actively use it, but like to go on there and check news every now and then, especially some of my hobbies. There's a lot of kind of like, if you're into macro investing and stock trading and all that stuff, if you're getting on the Robinhood bandwagon, Twitter's a place where a lot of those people hang out. So that's kind of gotten me hanging out there. Over the years, I've done some real estate advertising and stuff on Twitter. I'm not sure the effectiveness right now. Back in the day, around 2008, 2009, 2010, you could kind of hack Twitter up and get a lot of followers using things like follower wonk or something. Follower wonk. I forget what these things were all called. Yeah, like this one. There's all kinds of ways you can hack up getting a lot of followers. But like any other hack with marketing, you know, it's always short-lived, and the shortcuts and easy wins don't really get you too far. Remember, I had a site called Property Buzzer. Let's see if it's still a Twitter account called Property Buzzer. Yeah, somebody took that profile, or I lost it. Anyway, so let's go ahead and talk a little about Twitter. If anybody has any questions, feel free to chat. Just somebody let me know you can hear me. I'll stop rambling on. Let's just go ahead, and I'll just kind of struggle through setting up a profile, or show my profile and how we might optimize it first for real estate, and then how we might use the ad platform. So setting up a profile is going to be much like any other social network. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because a lot of times there's opportunity to optimize your profile on these social networks to drive leads and do lead capture. So I'm going to tweak mine right here, the one that I have with that in mind. So if you go over here, an example of what I'm going to do first on my Facebook, I have this kind of link. It says, don't click here. And this real estate, if people check out your profile, if you're interacting, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or now Twitter, you can actually use this banner real estate to do some stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with my profile banner image right here. And maybe, let me see what happens if I click it. Does it do what Facebook does? It doesn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an image for this that does some kind of call to action. And we could either do a text code or something, but I'm going to keep it simple here. And I'm just going to make it 727realestatedeals.com, which is the main landing page I talk about that I like to use with a lot of my ads. So you could use a text response number. We talked about that earlier this week. You could use QR codes. You could use a number of different calls to actions, including a landing page URL. So I have 727realestatedeals.com that links over. So let's go into Google. Sorry about the static, Heather. Go into Google, and I'm going to go and do a Google drawing right here. I'm going to let the Great Dane puppy in. Come on. He loves to come anytime I start a webinar and start knocking on the door. Come on, buddy. And then I like to use Google Drawings for my very fancy, sophisticated web graphic design needs. You guys, Canva is also an option. I should probably get on that board, you know, that bandwagon. But Canva is also a really good option if you want to build a nicer, sharper image. So let's do it. Let's do it in Google Draw, though. Let me look here at Twitter and just see how big this thing needs to be. So let me tell you, I'm just going to click and see if it gives me any dimension guidelines. It doesn't, but I'll kind of estimate it. It looks kind of wide, and then, you know, kind of long horizontal, maybe 4 by 1 almost, or 3 by 1. So I'll just estimate it. So I'm going to insert a shape like this. And then we'll go gray. Then I'm going to Click insert text box. Don't, gotta make my font white. Looking for a great real estate view in paradise. Something like that. Oh, in the 727. I'm doing the 727 because my profile actually has Ryan Hart 727 just randomly. That's my Twitter name. So let's just do that. Looking for a great real estate deal in the 727. And then I'll do go to 727realestatedeals.com. And this, I mean, this isn't a must do. I just, I got to fill this time with something. If you guys aren't asking me questions. So don't think you have to go run and change all your profiles to do something like this. But I like showing this kind of approach, whenever I can. I'm trying to make it yellow here, 1 second. Because it just kind of shows that there's always opportunity to kind of market wherever there's real estate online, wherever you're doing some kind of marketing. And if you're setting up a new Twitter profile, well, then that's marketing too. So underlined it. I might spend a little time later and make this sharper and put like a picture of an old house or something on it, but for now, let's just do this. And then I'll go ahead and use my screen capture software. I like to use Lightshot Screenshot. So I just hit my print screen and it's bringing up a little window here. And then I'll save that to my desktop. I know I'll get questions, but it's Lightshot Screenshot. It's totally free for Mac and Windows to download, and I just love it. It's like the best screenshot tool ever, in my opinion, especially for the price, totally free. So I've saved that screenshot, and now let's go back into Twitter, and I'm going to real estate-ify my Twitter profile here, and just upload that. And hopefully, I'm hoping that I got the dimensions kind of right. See how it kind of like cropped it a little, but I got a little lucky here, and it all fits within the blue arrows. So just eyeballing it kind of served me well here. I've got here some of my other things going on here. Let's just do this. Agent at Forever Florida Real Estate. And then I'll switch my website to my realestatedeals.com. Like that. And I've just real estate-ified my profile. Now you could have multiple Twitter accounts too. So agent at Forever Florida. It automatically made that URL. I did foreverfloridarealestate.com. That's interesting. There we go. So you see, if somebody comes to my profile, now they kind of see, well, what is this 727 real estate deals thing? And then they come over to this website and have a chance to generate leads from it. And then if I'm posting stuff and they come, they can see that they also get the link right there. I could also, for a current list of properties with motivated sellers, text motivated to, and then we'll just do a smart number. I don't remember it off the top of my head, right? So you could sneak there's more real estate here available in the profile. Do that right there. So maybe not specific to Twitter, but if you haven't kind of lead generation-ified or turned your profile, your social profiles into a way to generate leads, this could be an approach you take where you put vanity domains that link to landing pages on KV Core and the KV Core smart number into the profile. So along the way, let's do that. So that's that. And then from there, I should probably start tweeting the property of the day like I did yesterday, right? Property of the day. Right, so, right, and then I'll just go find a listing and post it. I feel like we did that in pretty depth yesterday. You can watch the replay, and also check out the social posting course. But I think a lot of you guys who are on now have seen me do that. But basically, you just grab a listing and you post it, or you do a property search of the day, and that's the kind of content you would post to Twitter. So the flow would be, hey, I'm going to spend the first few minutes of every day or a certain time every day posting on my social profiles. You go to Facebook, you go to Twitter, go to LinkedIn, you do your property search of the day. It's basically the same content every day. And you know that as people come back and they engage with that content, you can generate leads. And then also as they look at your profiles, you can generate leads that way. So good free lead generation. So beyond that, of course, Twitter, the way it kind of works is that you follow people and they follow you. So maybe I would just do St. Petersburg. Like I'll type my town in here, right? I don't want to get with anybody who's being political. See if I can find somebody who's not these days. But you know, then you'd go and you'd follow people who are talking about local stuff. Um, I'm not getting great examples, but you might spend some time every day doing that, or you do St. Pete real estate. And then just like any other thing, you might allot some amount of time every day to build out your social profile, your followers, and the people you engage with on this social network. I think a lot of us understand how that works at this point. But that would be one thing you can do on Twitter. And then the last thing that I kind of wanted to get into that I teased yesterday was, you know, how do we then use this instead of wasting time all day interacting and getting distracted by political posts or whatever else is going on? Here's a guy doing some real estate stuff. Maybe I'll follow him. Instead of getting distracted by that kind of stuff, how do we just use Twitter as a traffic source and drive traffic? And the way we do that is we go to advertising.twitter.com, and Twitter has an advertising platform the same way that Facebook does. I thought it's ads.twitter.com. So excuse me, it's ads.twitter.com, not advertising.twitter.com. So as you can see, I haven't been in here in a while, probably since the last time I did a webinar about this. And one of the reasons is because there's just so much traffic available on Facebook still. You know, we talk a lot about Facebook ads, and a lot of the same traffic you can get there on Twitter, you can get on Facebook. But I do think it is good for us to kind of have a hedge, you know, against the fact that Facebook at any time can change their terms and conditions. It could become way more expensive. So it's good to be familiar with these other ad networks and at least maybe poke around and try them out. And who knows, you might find you can get more traffic just for your specific market using a platform like Twitter. So point being, don't get distracted and feel like you have to go do the Twitter thing. But if you have an extra hour to kind of mess around and do what I'm doing right now, even just to run a quick ad, just to be familiar, just in case if the thing that's working great for you, you know, if Facebook ads are working great for you and it's suddenly not available, you have another channel that you're familiar with. So I'm going to click up here, create campaign. These generally look very similar. These ad dashboards these days, look, they're doing a lot of the good stuff that that Facebook does. Almost, you know, very similar objectives. And a lot of these video views, website clicks. I'm just going to click on the website, click one. Campaign name, we'll call this 727 Real Estate Deals. I am sure this credit card number is dead, but but they have one on file. If they're going to ask you to put a credit card on file, we'll do my daily budget. I'll put that at $10. So let's run it for a max of 5 days. You can do a start and end time. Then I'll go down at the very bottom here and click next. Then my ad group name here will just be, I think we can do, I'm forgetting, honestly, what the different demographics are. I know you can do, there's all kinds of stuff like with Facebook, so we'll just call ad group name. I would usually name this according to the target that I'm doing. We'll just leave that open. That's the campaign rules. Automatic bid, yes. I don't know. Nobody's asked me this yet, but you know what? I don't know if Twitter's doing the same special category stuff for real estate that Facebook is. You know, right now it looks like I can come in here and pick an age range. I don't know. I would have to put the ad live and see if they turn it down. So let's say I'll do 35 and up. And then I'm going to do location. So it's going to say people in these locations. So I'm going to do my county. It wants a city. So we'll just do Tampa, St. Petersburg. Let's do Russia. Might want it that way. Here we go. So we'll do the metro area. It showed up for me there. Cool. Okay, and I can see that it's selected right there. And then I'm going to turn off the United States because I'm not sure, you know, you have to do this through trial and error, but I'm not sure if we've done all the United States and this area. So I just got rid of all of the United States to be safe. I can choose the operating system. A lot of people like to do this. Maybe you only want to show your ad on mobile. So I'm going to show this only to iPhone users because, no, I wouldn't do that. I'm an Android user. Because I only think Android users are cool for whatever reason. So you could segment that way. And I only want Samsung. Come on. They got to have the same phone as me. I'm just kidding around, but you have the options right there. We'll do S10 and S10 here. So people who can afford the latest high-end model, maybe that would be your thinking. But don't overthink this. You can just pick them all for that. You can build custom audiences in Twitter like you can in Facebook. I'm not going to get too much into that, but just know that you can upload and you can install the Twitter pixel and build audiences. And now you have these kind of options. Reach people based on keywords in their search queries, recent tweets. So you could try to go for buy a house. I think that would be a limited audience. Follower lookalikes, so people who follow other people. Interests, I think, let's just try real estate and see what's in there. So people who seem to have a real estate interest, you can do that. And then so on. So you can go, pretty granular here. I always like to start broad. Let's just show the ad to everybody in the area. This seems to work really well on everybody 35 and older in my metro. This seems to work really well on Facebook since they took away the targeting. I don't want to limit it to begin with. Later on, I'll go and refine and add more limitations, but I'm going to leave the targeting wide open right now. Twitter placements. So put your tweets where your audience is most likely to see it in profile search results. Extend to Twitter audience platform. I never trust these. This is their way to give us more traffic, just like Facebook does. But it's like third tier traffic. So you got to test everything. Try it with it on. Try it with it off. I'm going to leave it off for right now. And then for creatives, I'm going to have to either take an existing tweet, but I can create a new tweet in line right here. Okay, so I can do. And so, you can do promoted only tweets that don't show up in your stream. But I'm just going to do organic tweet, and I'm going to create a tweet right here. And I'm going to say, get a complete current list. I'm actually going to try to match the landing page message. All right, so I have my free weekly list of. So we'll do get a free weekly list of same people are St. Pete Fixers 727 Pinellas Fixer info closure deals at, and then the URL, and I'll tweet it. Okay. Oh, that was interesting. It automatically checked promoted only, so it's actually hidden. It'll be hidden from my screen, which is fine. And then let's just do promoted only tweets. Yep, there we go. It's showing up here. You can see back a few years ago, probably the last time I did this, I had a lease option offer too, but now that link is dead. But yep, there we go. I've chosen that tweet to run in the ad, and then I click next. You can't target both a device and its platform, so you kind of learn as you go. So it didn't like the fact that I picked only S10 users, so I'll go back and edit that. I was kind of just being silly with the Android thing, so I'll just get rid of these. I'll just let it show to everybody using Twitter. Launch a campaign. And just like that, you can have a campaign live right there. I'm going to turn this off because I'm pretty sure the credit card, I'm probably not using the same card that I was using back then, and I'll fix that up. But just like that, you can have traffic going to your page from another ad network, and that would be Twitter. And as you probably noticed, it doesn't look very different than what you can do on Facebook. It's very similar flow, very similar options. If you're familiar with Facebook, you'll be able to navigate this pretty well. They used to have the lead form option. I forget what they called it, and I really got great results with that, but they took it away. You used to be able to collect name, email, I think phone. I can't remember if it was phone or maybe their Twitter handle directly in Twitter, but they took that away. I'm not sure why. I think they called it cards or something. But you can still drive direct clicks and get video engagement directly from this platform right here. And let me see if I can see. I can show you guys like the historical results on this. So one, it doesn't really want to do that. bottom line is I've gotten some good click costs here. The only reason I haven't hammered Twitter as a traffic source is because there's just so much available on Facebook. You know, you can't. I've never been in a position where I need to spend more. But you should play with this if you want. Maybe you're already a Twitter user and you prefer to be in Twitter. Maybe you don't like Facebook for whatever reason. You want to just see if there's a different type of traffic and a different type of lead that can be generated. Twitter's definitely an option. So yeah, I think that's it for that demo for now. Any questions, guys? You guys have been pretty quiet today. But there's not much to it. You know, get your profile looking like if you want to mess around like me and use your profile to generate leads, you know, play with the profile image, keep that in mind, play with the text there. And then, you know, start tweeting maybe regularly some real estate stuff as you do your social posts every day. And then go into the ads platform if you want more traffic. Andy, I don't know. Twitter real estate ad rules. Yeah, Andy's asking if there's any age limitations. I'm not aware. So the way that I'll find out is that they'll tell me. I don't see any recent articles about it. Maybe I'll probably ask in the Facebook group. Maybe somebody knows. But as far as I know, they don't have special categories. Here we go. Or maybe I'm wrong. Must contact Twitter. So you might run into this thing right here. So they are doing what Facebook does. Andy, to answer your question, I'll probably go and take those the age off. So they're kind of following the overreaction cue that Facebook has. So, you know, just go run it broad. I probably should have researched that before I showed you guys, but it didn't occur to me. So just run your ad broad then, and you know, you might run into this thing where before they approve your ad, you might get an email that they want to review your account or something. But you know, at the end of the day, I'd be surprised if they said no, you can't run any real estate ads. They just want to be careful. You might have an initial account review, you know, and they want your money just like all these other ad networks. So I wouldn't assume that means that they're not gonna do it. Not gonna allow you to get an ad left. Okay. But yeah, some Twitter stuff today, guys. Anything else you'd like to see here on this session discussed? As I mentioned yesterday, I think that Google setup tile is live in the marketplace. Let's see where it is. Managed Google pay-per-click ads. And then Google PPC search campaign setup. So we've added this option for a one-time fee of $2.99. We'll actually set up the Google ad campaigns that we usually run for the $500 a month in your campaign, which means that from moving forward, you'll have to manage them, but you'll kind of get the professional service where the same people who've been doing this for years set it all up, and we know it's going to work pretty much. Like it's going to convert for you. When people land on your kvCore site, they'll opt in. So we've got a lot of feedback over the years that people wanted a one-time option on that. They don't want the $500 a month recurring. And you know, kind of the purpose of our advertising products here is to just help people get more leads into the platform. So we've launched this as an option for you guys to test out. Good question, Marie. Marie's asking, do we need a Facebook business page to post listing and open house or any other real estate related posts? So no, you can post, I talk about this a lot, you can post to your personal profile. You can post real estate stuff to your personal profile. There's nothing wrong with that. Only thing, just don't overdo it. You know, make sure you're posting other stuff, but you can weave in, and we recommend you weave in links to properties and property searches of the day. If you're going to run paid ads on Facebook, then you do need a business page. Kid's trying to call me. All right. So yeah, that's the answer. You need a business page to run paid advertising, which wasn't the case for Twitter, by the way. I just ran that off my personal profile. They can see here, I did my property search of the day yesterday. This would be an example on my personal profile link, you know, then people can come over and become leads on the site. Cool. Anything else, guys? What are you working on? Anybody doing Craigslist ads these days? What kind of marketing are you doing today? I think one good reason for these sessions is just to kind of remind you to do something, right? And start to build out habits. So on again on Tuesday we'll do the kind of 5 things you should do every day. Great, Andy. Andy's doing videos. That you can never go wrong doing videos. That's for sure. Robert's asking, do you show how to open a Google account? Oh, on that service, if you order that service, I do have a video because you need to create an account and then give us access. So as soon as you order that service, you're taken to a video. It takes 2 minutes, and basically you go create a quick Google account, and then I give you an email that you just kind of got to give us access to that Google account. To create a Google account, in case anybody's curious, is really easy. You just go to ads.google.com, and you click Start Now, and you just do a new account. It's a wizard. It'll just walk you through. But I do give a video if you do happen to order that service about how to set that up so that we're able to create the campaign for you. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to take all the keywords, all the ad copy, everything we usually use for the handful of cities that you give us, and you're going to have the campaigns live in your account. And then from there, you can change the budget, you can change the spend, you can change the targeting. You get a lot more flexibility than you typically have gotten through our kind of cookie cutter managed service. Even though that service does work really well. We've just gotten really, honed it down, or whatever you would say. It's really consistent. About 10.5%, 11% conversion rates. Consistently, I'm seeing leads down in the $5 or $6 range on a lot of accounts lately, but consistently between $10 and $20 for a Google lead is pretty high intent. How do we set up a target? Zip codes or city or county? Do you mean a target for Twitter or for Google? For Google, it's going to matter. It's going to depend on your area, but mostly what you want to think about with Google is what are people searching. So in my market, people are searching St. Pete condos, like they're searching a city name. In your market, they might be searching a neighborhood name even, or they might be searching a county name. So yeah, that's kind of that's how we decide. When you order, if you do order the setup service, you'll tell us what 3 cities, what 3 areas you want, and then we'll set them up accordingly. But in most cases, guys, you just, there's the one town you work in. If you run a really good Google campaign for that one town, that one keyword, and it's fundamentally sound, there's tons of traffic to be had. You can generate a really nice volume of leads just from Google. Again, the difference between Google and a Facebook or a Twitter, like I just showed you, is that the intent is higher. You got somebody going to google.com and they're intentionally searching Tampa, Florida real estate, like that. So they've got real estate on their mind, as opposed to the Twitter ad that I ran. Somebody's going to see that in their Twitter feed and be distracted, and be distracted, or they weren't actually looking for real estate content, but they see it and they find it to be interesting, and then they'll click over to it from there. But they didn't have the same intent that they had when they're searching on Google. So Andy's up. You're using a list from Remind for a Facebook retargeting campaign, but Facebook doesn't care about the do not call list. That's cool. And then, yeah, try that out. Try sending ads to the numbers that match. That's a great tip. I hope everybody heard that. I've been looking at Remind. I haven't gotten around to it, but I've been thinking a lot about doing an absentee owner campaign, with Thanks.io to get a list there. I know you can get absentees either from Remind or your local tax records, and then send a postcard or a letter that says, hey, I noticed you had a property out of town. I had a really nice success and got a nice handful of listings with that in Philly in the mid-2000s, specifically sending direct mail to owners of multifamily properties. And I think at the time I was targeting areas that were actually lower end strategically, because a lot of times the owners of those had multiple properties. But, I was targeting areas where I suspected it wasn't too much fun for the owner to be owning the property anymore. Let's say it that way. So there's a lot of things you can do with a Remind. Yeah. And they're also getting your direct mail. Yeah, I mean, that's the cross-channel, multi-channel. That's the sweet stuff right there. If you can take a list from Remind, upload it to Facebook, but then send all those same people targeted direct mail. So now they've got this physical thing they've gotten in the mail, and then they're seeing your ads on Facebook, and then maybe you figure out a way to get them on Google and other networks. You seem to be everywhere, and it's really high leverage stuff. Because it's going to take you 10 minutes to upload the list to Facebook. It's going to take you another 10 or 20 minutes to get the ad live. Take you an hour to get the direct mail campaign on, depending on how you're doing it. But to those people, you seem to be everywhere. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Everybody following what I'm saying? What Andy's doing? So he's showing Facebook ads to people who he's downloading from Remind. And he's also sending them direct mail. That's awesome. Maybe we should if you want to come on one day, we could do one of these sessions about that approach. If anybody would be interested in seeing that, I could either do it, or if you want to come on as a guest, Andy, and share what you're doing. That's really cool. That's next level stuff. Great. Well, if there's no other comments or questions, we're coming up on a half hour. I can stay longer, but if nobody has questions, I'm sure you're all in there playing around with Twitter. Just remember that all the replays are always at insiderealestate.com/webinars. You post them all there. I don't think I got yesterday's up. Got really busy yesterday afternoon, but I have it sitting on my computer here. So I'll get both of today and yesterday uploaded there for you guys here in the next few hours. Yeah, Enrico's saying never thought to use Facebook with Remind. So you got the cost of your admission today, Enrico. Go give it a shot. That was a great tip from Andy. Thanks, Andy. All right, guys. So we'll see you on Tuesday. We're going to do those 5 things you should be doing every day in KV Core on Tuesday. Great. Thanks, Brett. All right, man. We should get you on here, too. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. See you on Tuesday.